Hey, this is a little disclaimer for episode 9. One, this episode is very messy, all over the place. This was originally just going to be a disclaimer, and it's probably going to turn into a little mini pre-episode. That joke is that joke and the explaining of this, due to my speech patterns and my inability to speak coherently in straight lines, is adding on to the preferred amount of time that I would like for this to go on. But yeah, this episode is very messy. It involves a lot of music stuff, and I am not perfect, so it's not perfect. That being said, ooh, um, yeah, I know the picture quality on like the photos and stuff is like really bad recently, and I don't know why. I use Microsoft Clipchamp because I'm not fucking paying for editing software, and coupled with that, uh, I do this so I don't have to edit videos like I want it to be cut clear and concise. So yeah, I apologize. I don't know what the change was. I don't know why everything happened, but yeah, that's just gonna be the reality of things from now on. I guess you're not really supposed to look. It's more of a listening experience. So enjoy episode 9. I apologize. This disclaimer goes out for probably most future videos unless I can find a resolve or something. But yeah, this is also a really bulky episode. Get ready to hear a lot of rambling and shit about like physical music playing and then listening to me play songs and whatnot. So yeah, enjoy that. Uh, I know I won't. That's why I'm not gonna listen to my own episodes. But yep. Take care. Signing out. This is okay. Yeah, you know the whole all the sounds in the beginning. It's me making sure everything works, all the buttons work, and everything. Right. This is music. This is a music episode. I'm not talking about music, actually. I'm going to be playing it. Or I'm going to be playing in between talking. I think I'll probably play like 3 or 4 songs. Yeah. So, let me grab my book, actually. Alright. I should probably clear a little section here, right? That's the sound of everything falling. As I try to put my episode together, which I should have done before I recorded, but this is a little behind the scenes. I've got my little section cleared out. My phone fell on the ground. No case. This is why women live longer than men. The reason I would mention that statistic at this time is because I had complete disregard for everything around me in doing that. And I carry that little aspect into the other corners of my life. And women are very cautious. Very cautious indeed. Or as I know them to be cautious. But yeah, I can't really remember songs off the top of my head. Right. So I'm going to talk about my musical journey, flip through some pages here, play some songs. I haven't played because I don't want to play like The Night Is Ours and everything. Because, you know, I've been writing songs since I was 14, I think. I would assume I've been writing songs since I was 14. I had a very large songbook of over 100 songs that my old dog, rest in peace, Hunter, he pissed on. And yeah, so those songs are all lost to the ages. But you know, I have a ton of books with a ton of songs written, and I have a lot of recordings, so none of those songs are really lost to time. Some ideas are lost to time, like various chord progressions and whatnot, like that accompany various songs, because I don't really write chord progressions down very often. So if it's not recorded with lyrics, then, you know, it's probably not as I intended it when I wrote it. Like, I wrote some lyrics in Microsoft documents for whatever reason. I do that from time to time, but yeah, I mean, I can't remember the chords that are supposed to go with it, but I kind of just fuck around and, you know, put music to that now. You know, I don't lack the ability like I used to, where I would have these songs written and I would do it very ultimateguitar.com style, where I would write these, and I guess like I've seen handwritten lyrics from people like Elliott Smith and um, Prince or whatever. Maybe not Prince. I might be thinking of someone else, but Elliott Smith is the big one that comes to mind, where he would have these chords written over the lyrics like they do on Ultimate Guitar. I do really like that notation, but um, I think I made a lot of songs overly complicated and very inconsistent, like sonically. Like, so of course, The Night Is Ours is. Jesus, let me try that again. Wow, what a way to start that, by fucking it up. But, and then of course following that, you know, like it's just like a couple chords. And that, you know, that's very thematic. And I just, like, if things weren't like that, I would play something like a little micro ditty, like say something in the key of G, right? And then I theoretically, it's been so long since I've written a song like this, I would pick any chord in the key, so like E flat minor, right? Or, well, that was G flat major, not actually G major, so let me correct that, comparative to the tuning. So like E flat major or E flat minor, and then I would just navigate around that, and it's very inconsistent. Even though it's all in the same key, it doesn't have that same sonic pattern, in my opinion. Of course, a lot of progressive like music and a lot of progressive ideas, and I do think I'm like a progressive musician, not in that like I'm very technical or unique, but I am forward thinking with what music should, like I know what my music should be. I'm not going to sit here and say that music should be or shouldn't be this thing, because like there are bands and musicians that write way better music than me, and I'm friends with a lot of musicians that are way better musicians than me, and they write way better songs than me. But I'm not going to sit back and be told by these music purists that my music should sound like this, that, or you know, that like if I write an E major and do a chord progression, you know, I'm not going to sit here and have someone tell me that it should be this E major not or E minor 9, right? And because not every song requires that, and sometimes the simplicity is important. And for me, like I do like a lot of complexities in music, like I was thinking the other day, like I've got this progression here. Simple progression, but it breaks the rules, you know. You've got this C, G, so it's obviously, well, it's B and then G flat, excuse me. So you've got this B, G, and those are major 7s, mind you. So B and G flat, both major 7s, that's going to be in the key of G flat, right? And then you get to this A flat 7, and this A flat dominant 7, and that falls out of the key. But when that falls back into that, well, it kind of gives this G flat this Lydian feel, with, you know, the rise of the semi-dominant or subdominant, excuse me, not the semi-dominant, the subdominant, because, you know, that would be in the key of yeah, that would be in the key of D flat major, right? That chord there, and then of course that the rise of the subdominant, Jesus, the rise of the subdominant is consistent with that D flat, but obviously it can't be in the key of D flat major, because, you know, you have this glaring discrepancy where it's a semi-quaver below D flat and it's a major 7, so it ultimately is very contrastive with the key of D flat major. And while a chord with those 3 tones can be made in D flat major, obviously you have that, and D flat major, or D flat, does exist in the key of D flat does exist in the key of B. Like, yeah. Sorry, I'm trailing off. D flat does exist because B, right? I said D flat and I confused myself, but like C sharp exists in the key of B, right? Not D flat. D flat does not exist in the key of B. D flat does exist in the key of C flat, but I would rather talk about B in the terms of B instead of making it overcomplicated by calling it C flat, right? But yeah, it exists. It's that yeah, it's the two. So you can make a sixth there, like with that beautiful Dorian sixth I so very that I so very much love, because what you can do with that is like, what you can do with that is you can make this 6 sus4 chord, and you know that has a very major sound to it, mostly because it comes off of an inversion, like it's an inversion of a different chord. I would have to think here, so I think it would be the inversion of this. Oh, Jesus. I think it would be the inversion of the G there. The inversion of the G flat. So, yeah, I think it would be either a first or second inversion. I'm not going to think too hard about it now, because it'll leave this big gap in silence. Me trying to do all the math in my head. Like, yeah, obviously you heard it earlier, like I'm doing all this like mental fumbling to try to get this to make musical theory sense. And like last episode I talked about explaining music theory and the importance of music theory. But yeah, here's me trying to fumble around trying to get this to make sense. But yeah, you have that beautiful chord that, you know, is what should be a minor, right? You get that minor seventh, or you get that minor seventh, or any amount of things, but because the Dorian has the raised sixth instead of the minor sixth, like that, major sixth, like you can create a lot of really interesting soundscapes. And I use a 6 on Untitled 00. I've got the 6. It's the subdominant, and so it's the. And I think that chord is really well utilized. Like, it's that A flat 6, or I think on the recording it might just be an A6. It might have been in standard tuning, but like, I think the 6 is very underutilized, and I think 13 chords are really underutilized because a lot of 13 chords include the very awkward 11, and I think like one of the best utilizations of the 11 you can make is sharp it for, like, you know, one of those like hyper-Lydian chords, like one of the happiest quote unquote sounding chords you can make is that you could probably make that 13 sharp 11, or 9 add sharp 11. I guess that would just be a major sharp 11 chord. Yeah. When I say 9 sharp 11 in that case, I didn't mean dominant. I'm just trying to make it. Yeah, just trying to clarify chord shapes here, and I guess you can make a lot of really interesting, like alt 13, alt 11 chords, or like any number. I almost said alt 15. But yeah, any extension beyond 13 is really just a rewrite of a different chord, and like the 13 is just a rewrite of the 6, and then, you know, 11 is just a rewrite of 4, and then 9 is of 2. But I think going past 7 makes it a little more clear, because if you do D major 2, or if you do like, yeah, D major 2 would just be like, or excuse me, because, you know, that's a major second. You know. So D major 2 doesn't exist for that reason. You know, you can have a major add 9, but like, because there is a lack of 7 there, you could do D major 9 omit 7. It reads the same, you know, or, well, in this case it's B major 9. I was just using D as a letter example, but like, it still reads the same, but for conciseness it's just, you know, B major add 9. up and feast the discontent between you and I. Wedge the divide. A new home in Cincinnati. I'll be gone by July. There's Cincinnati. Flawless transition, right? But yeah, that's not akin to the recording of the song Cincinnati, because the song, I think it's I would have to listen to it to figure it out, but it's in either in open D or open D flat or open F A C G C E, half step down F A C G C E, so it would be E, A flat, C flat, so B, E, A flat, B, G flat, F, A, C, G, C, B, and then E flat. Jesus, took me a minute to piece that together, sorry. The reason I say that half step down, because it's based off of F, A, C, G, C, E, just half step down, because I'm a bitch for half step down. I do like the sound. Oh, I like that. Harmonics. That was on the sound hole. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, so that song is like the original. I think this is a rewrite of the lyrics too. I had the original lyrics. I wrote them on a notepad a while ago. It's really interesting, but yeah. So, oh shit. Yeah. Next song I'm gonna play is called Subject Verb Agreement. Yeah, I'll do two more. That's a good idea. So yeah, Subject Verb Agreement. This is also not gonna be like the final recording, because the original song is really long. I'm gonna abbreviate it here for you. this song is about dissatisfaction, if you didn't pick up on that. Yeah, really interesting one. I don't even remember how the fucking studio version goes. I don't remember how the studio version goes. But, yeah, oh boy. So yeah, I've been writing songs since I was about 14. I don't remember a lot of them. I don't remember a lot of the riffs I wrote. My affinity for major 7 chords, which does greatly exist. A major 7, major 9, minor 9 chords. My affinity for all those chords is like very prevalent in my music. But yeah, so yeah, I discovered this pairing of notes, and I was like, damn, that sounds pretty good. It was like one of my first days playing guitar too. Like I was like, of course I didn't play it with such ease, but yeah, I mean, that's where it started. That A major 7 chord, so it sounded a little more like this. But yeah, and I started playing Half Step Down because of a band called Weezer. Not a lot of people have heard of them. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't remember the bass line. I don't think that was right. But yeah. And then the Smashing Pumpkins play Half Step Down, and so that kind of like solidified it. Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember the last song I used standard tuning on. That whole album I wrote about, like the Great War. That whole thing is in open D. I use a capo. I use alternative tuning. Just a lot of things I don't really do anymore. Because I like having the music I write be accessible. Always I play it. But yeah, so like if I pick up a guitar, even if the guitar's in standard tuning, I like to be able to play the riffs I've wrote, you know. But it's kind of a minor loss because I've written not nearly the amount of songs that I've written in like standard bass tuning. I haven't written nearly that amount of songs in like open D or any weird tuning I use. I've used probably 10 to 15 different tunings in my music. Like not standard based. Maybe 10 to 15 is a little too high of a number. I'd say like 10 at most, maybe, probably. But yeah, I'd have to go in and listen. Yeah, so I want to play 2 more songs, but I'll talk a little more about music stuff, right? So, yeah, there was a while where I was like creatively stunted, and then I realized that all the strings of the guitar exist. So yeah, I started using the high E string a lot more in my chords, and it created a lot of like chordal dissonance in the good way. I wrote this. Real pain in the ass to play. I also wrote this. This is in a fingerstyle. Wait here for me. I don't know where I'm going. Yeah, that song, it's not like it's hard to play, it's just tedious because I have really small hands, and doing those stretches is kind of annoying. The original version of Wept, Oh, I wish I had those fucking lyrics somewhere. I probably do. I could probably dig through one of these boxes of papers I have somewhere and find the lyrics to Wept. I would really like to play that at some point. But no, I'll just go fuck myself. But as it stands, you know, the original version of Wept was a fucking pain in the ass to play. Cause I have small hands, you know. Like you go from that C to the B flat to the A flat to the F, and it's like holy shit. Like while you're sustaining that. Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass. Obstruct the night, seep into another stratosphere. Scarecrow lights collect wandering dust. To feel is to be. To read is to real. To feel. To lead, heal to remiss, reminiscent, utter blanket stares. Much more than this. Sky behind the clouds, a ray pollinates the night sky. Windy day, I find myself, I hardly tell I'm doing well. Too well to remiss, reminisce in utter bliss. Remiss much more than this. In utter loss, in utter loss. Remiss, reminiscing other blisses. Kisses, raindrops from the sky. In utter bliss, I see taken line. The dew on the ground, the savory sound, a compound thought, a total blight, an empty night, I follow stars. A total blight, an empty night, I follow stars. Knowing someday I will defeat right back. Sorry, someone intruded on my recording time. I don't know if it'll show up in the mix or not, but it's okay. My voice faltered a little bit. I'm still coming off that, because I'm recording this episode right after the last episode. So, yeah, my throat's still recovering, but it's mostly better, but I did falter there. I'm not really a singer, so whatever. I've not played that song in a very long time, by the way. I don't think I've actually played that song since I wrote it. It's called Remus. I might have a song called Romulus too. Or I definitely have a song called Romulus too. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. Some of these songs have the same names as other songs. Like New South Wales Rugby Club has different lyrics than like the final version. I don't know why. I don't know why that's a thing. I don't know what song I'm gonna play last. But yeah, I love that little progression there. Yeah, it's very character of me too, so it might be a rubbish one, but I like it, so yeah. I do have a lot of really simple progressions, holy shit. Songs like Remus though, it's too much rhyme. I don't know, it comes off like too try hard on the rhyme. Like there are so many more literary devices. Like I feel like a lot of rhymes are really elementary. Like especially in like modern music, everyone rhymes all the time, and it's super to me a lot of it comes off elementary. Like the Imagine Dragons song, I think it's Bones, but the line I'm in the bathroom looking at me. I think I'm in the bathroom looking at me, facing the mirror's all I need. It's near rhyme, right? And stuff like that it's so surface level, and the rhyme does not aid the cause of the song, and it doesn't make the song any more clever. Yeah, well, I know that me and need rhyme too. What? And I love Imagine Dragons. Let me spit that out there real quick, that they were my first favorite band. My dad's first favorite band was Doors, and Doors are a lot better than Imagine Dragons. But I like both. Should I do a cover? What would I cover? No, not tonight. What is this egregious ass chord progression I wrote? This is why I don't write chord progressions down, because this is fucking egregious. Hold on, let me play this real quick. Wait, no. No, I might actually have been cooking. Hold on. 10, 9... Alright, that's actually not that bad. I thought it was a whack-ass chord progression. I just can't read my own fucking notation. Alright, so it's... Jesus Christ. We're gonna do that, actually. Should I do this? This song is called Trust. There's a studio version of it out. I think it has different lyrics. I think what happens is, like I opted to improvise songs I had already written, cause why not? But this one is actually written. This is a pre-write of what the studio version is, so this is going to be more accurate to what the studio version should have been. I lack discretion and musical tactfulness. I should approach things a different way a lot of times, and I don't. But yeah, I'll do this, and then I'll do one more. All right. So this one's called Trust. Jesus Christ, here we go. You will see me the same. Wanted to be perfect. I left you abandoned. I made you hurt. Made it worse. I wanted to work. There's no trust. There's no love. There's no trust. There's no love. I can't blame you for not feeling the same. Shame on me a million times. I can't imagine. I couldn't possibly imagine. There's no trust. There's no love. There's no trust. There's no love. Torn apart. Torn apart. Once in a lifetime, never feel again. Thrown away, thrown away. There's no trust. There's no love. There's no trust. There's no love. That song's emo as shit and very straightforward. No wonder I didn't record this version of the lyrics. The reason I just played it is because it was fucking right in front of me, and I figure, live or let die, right? So now the world gets to hear this terribly emo, awful version of this where I fuck up a couple times. I was also just feeling, the reason I played that open there is because I thought it would have sounded good in the context of the song. Long story short, I was fucking wrong. I think that I can't tell if it's supposed to be in like A flat major or not, because it's got the D flat, it's got the E flat, and then it's got the F, you know. But I mean, it's got it's written as power chords, so I can't really experiment with it. So I had to go with the flow and leave the G. I had to leave the G flat in that chord and see how it sounded, and then I heard it and I'm like, no, that's not good. Oh, that's just how it is though. And then like trying to inflect myself how I wanted to inflect myself, because I know what the song's supposed to sound like. Like a lot of the time when I'm playing it, it's like, yeah, right, okay, I know what I wanted this to be. God, a lot of these songs are so fucking like emo and edgy. You left me high and dry. You left me to hang. You left me to bleed. You lied to me. Like, that's so fucking on the nose. Like, I hope I never write like this style again, because it's like it's so out there in a way that like is not it's not reminiscent of the style of music I write anymore. Like, this is all me like attempting to push this like narrative that I could write catchy songs onto people. Like, wait. Ooh. It's a lot like Luna by the Smashing Pumpkins, by the way. If there's ever any like coincidence, or not coincidences, but if there's any similarities like that, it's never on purpose. I never try to like imitate anybody else. Like, I had someone comment on my video like saying that like a riff I wrote was similar to like an Alice in Chains song. It's like, are you really going to sit here and accuse me of plagiarizing? Listen to my like whole listen to my whole catalog, and like probably 90% of my songs are gonna sound like a different song that has been written. It's like somewhere, right? Right now, whether or not I know that's true or not, I don't know, because I don't like I listen to a good portion of music, but I don't listen to like I don't listen to every fucking band to ever breathe music into existence. Like, yeah, so what? I use fucking E minor 7. Like, I use E minor 7. I use that G major, D flat major, and then B major 7. Or B major add 9, excuse me. But I'm not sitting here going, bro, I wrote that. And like, the example, it was like, one, that's a lot faster. Two, it's not like, it uses the same, like a lot of the same roots, but it's not the same progression. Like, it's a lot faster. And then like, it used the open chords I talked about. Like, I use a lot of open chords, and of course I use vibrato on the bass there. Like, that's just my play like that's just my playing style. You go ahead and count in my catalog how many songs use like those, like, oh, excuse me, or any amalgamation. Like, I like those chords. I use them. They were taught to me, or they weren't taught. I learned them very early on. The first ever thing I learned how to do, thank you to my father. That's how it begins. Like that, like, being taught that Green Day riff was the gateway. Like, and like on the song Tribute to Dad, which I wrote in tribute to my father, playing his Ibanez GIO, I played a string of the very first chords I ever learned. It's very simple. It's very rudimentary. It's very, it's very easy to pick up on. It's that song's in standard tuning because I obviously I played in Jesus. I think it's one of my cats rubbing on my door. It scared the shit out of me. I don't know if you'll be able to hear that, but yeah, whatever. Right. but yeah, it's I don't remember what chords I use exactly, but like just yeah, those were like some of the first chords taught to me, and I've used them ever since. Like you don't hear me going fucking like you're not gonna hear me like playing like tribute to dad. Cause like my fucking guitar teacher wasn't Stevie Ray Vaughan. It was my father. You know, my father's my biggest influence, and like I learned from him. That was my way to pay tribute. But those chords are all over my catalog, man. And like there are chords all over my catalog that I develop usage over time, like this chord. Like I love that fucking chord, and like just like any amount of chords, like just there are so many chords that you can use, but people are going to default to using some more than others, and I'm a musician, so I fall into that category. We're not gonna play stupid and like pretend that playing this fucking G13 chord, this G dominant 13 chord. We're not gonna like sit here and pretend like that's like more pleasing to the ear than just everyone hears that. I just butchered We Are Never Getting Back Together, but like yeah. The girl that was my first kiss, um I was playing Semi Charmed Life, and like yeah, this is a fucking perfect time to bring this story up, right? The girl that was my first kiss, Semi Charmed Life is do 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 do, but that like literally the same chords. I don't know how it's played exactly because I don't fucking listen to Taylor Swift, except for Folklore and Everlong. I love Folklore and Everlong, but yeah. So, like, she pointed out to me like those songs use the same chords, and I'm like, yeah, I guess they do. Um, yeah, I went over to her house for songwriting. 0 songs were written. It's like one of the only times I've like had the goal of writing a song, and I was too busy. I think I was like 15. Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right. I'm gonna pretend like I was 15, right? I was either 14 or 15, right? So wow, like thinking about it, like I got a lot of praise when I was younger for being like this initiative guitarist, and like people used to say I was like great and everything, but like now, like if I went back in time and was like, hey Evan, fucking do this, like do. Excuse me, hold on, let me hold my pick right. Like if I asked, like, I butchered fucking Welcome Home, whatever, right? But if I asked like myself to do that back then, or like to write like an intuitive riff, like just play any string of notes that are in the same key without really thinking about it. Yeah, that wasn't perfect, but I wouldn't have been able to conjure anything like that now. Like, never been able to like. And I wasn't even good at like hammer-ons and pull-offs then. No, I'm really not now. But yeah, I wasn't able to do that stuff, so it's weird. But yeah, so like there's all that. It was very interesting. I've definitely grown as a musician. I'm like a full-fledged musician now. Like I've breached the filter of musician, like like fledgling hood, and now here I am. I'm writing songs that are important to me. Like, and I started writing like like I don't know. So what I'm reading in here is I've got the lyrics to Honesty written down, and then I go through and I look at a song like Betrayal. And I guess I haven't been writing these songs that are like important and more than just like lyrics and chords, cuz like obviously my songs are lyrics and chords, but to me like I'm writing about life events, or I'm writing about like things I give a shit about, not like breakups and shit. Cause that's just like even the songs I do write about like breakups, the breakup with me and my ex girlfriend, where like my most recent ex girlfriend, like I look at that right. I look at that like the song, an untold false prophecy, I believe is the name. I look at that song, and it's a long song, but the contents, like I'm doubting if I'll even include it on the final release, because like it is a very deep and intimate song, but like the song right here, right, like the song fucking where is it? I just said the name of it. Please, Lord have mercy. It was right here, dude. Betrayal. But like if that song was betrayal, it would have been like, you left me high and dry, left me to hang. Wow. Like snore, fucking snooze fest. There are a million songs that say the exact same thing with the exact same words. Like high and dry is a way better song than fucking betrayal. You fucking idiot. I'm fucking moron. Like I'm trying to write like catchy songs, and I don't have the ear for it. Like sure I can have this catchiness to how I play thing, like 2002, she had a little growing to do. Like, yeah, that's a good opening line, but if I try to make the rest of the song like that, it's gonna fall flat because it's, it loses its luster. And, like, yeah, that song, I can't even remember the name of the intro to the song I just played, but that song is about my mother, and like my mother's life, and how I interpret my mother's life through what she's told me, and it's an homage to my mother and her motherhood, and it's about like my mother not really having a childhood because she had me so young, and like to me, honoring my mother through that, when my mother is gone, I'm going to sing the highest praises of my mother, and even in her life I will sing the highest praises about my mother, because I love my mother to death. And this pathetic song, Betrayal, I'm going to be hard on myself for a very brief moment, so excuse me. These fucking excuses of songs, like there is a difference between a song, and I'm not even going to include instrumentals, because every instrumental I've recorded has had some significance to me, because writing those chords in those orders, and a lot of times I'm writing instrumentals and putting lyrics to them, and I used to be very against that, because that was Ryan Ross's philosophy, and he has written a lot of really great songs, but like a lot of these instrumentals I write, they're very important to me. And like when it comes to lyrics, every time I try to write lyrics, I end up writing poetry or something that should be poetry. Like 1919, I was going to write a song called 1919, and I looked at the lyrics, and I got writing like two, like, I'm gonna say I got writing like two lines in, right, or like a stanza in, and I was like, this isn't ever gonna work as a song the way I want it to, because the lyrics didn't flow well. Like and it started like that too. It was I had this sheet music called 1919 written in, and I talked about this last episode, so I'm gonna mull over it. And then I had written this, and then I had written these. It was supposed to be like spoken word. It's like it's 1912, and then like I think the 1912. It's either the 1910, 11, or 12. It references the Agadir crisis between the German Empire and France, and like it flows really well together, and for the whole value, everything I intend with that, like, in order for it to be understood, like, you need to read the text because I have it formatted very specifically. Like, I have the lines broken up in this way. Oh god, there's a word that my English teacher from sophomore year taught me that would perfectly describe it, but god damn it, I can't remember the name of the word, but the lines are broken in a very the lines are written, formatted, and broken in a very specific way as to convey a meaning, and all the lines are written to bring something up, to come to a head, right? I don't know if I'll ever get the poem published, but I can convey that through song. Like, yeah, all the words would come out the same. Were I just a lot of these songs I have written, I don't sing as intended, because, like, yeah, writing lyrics, or when you're sitting there writing a song, like, okay, I'm gonna play this chord and then la da 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 da. When you're playing the whole song together, it's never that perfect. Like, you're never, unless you're like sitting there writing sheet music, which I'm not gonna sit there and fucking write. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and write that and concoct that. Would I be a far better musician, or would I be a more precise musician by some people's standards? Sure. Like, that doesn't, that I to me, that doesn't make me a better musician, because I already write sheet music and I already know how to fucking concoct a song. Like, theoretically, I can concoct any amount of songs. Like, yeah, I don't write catchy music, sure, but like, it's artistic value to me. Like, the artistic value to me is going to be important to nobody, and the artistic value that I put in intrinsic songs and various tracks, like, for example, like, as I sit here and talk about, like, Billy Cobb, right? So the October, the song October is one of my favorite fucking songs I've ever written, and like, I love the harmony between the guitars in the beginning. I like the opening speech where they're just talking about Halloween, and it paints this really beautiful picture of Halloween. Like, I fucking adore that, and like, I love the chorus, join the bewitching hour, the hour sunset comes, or whatever, right? But yeah, so like, that song has a lot of artistic value to me because I see all that. To somebody else who like listens to like a Tool, right? They find artistic value in a song like Die von Satan, and I like a recipe for marijuana cookies in German. All right, like, I don't see any value in that, but no disrespect to Tool, by the way. I think they're a phenomenal band, but yeah, like, all these people that listen to my music, they're not going to understand, like, they're not going to understand the circumstances behind a song like I Don't Care Anymore. They're just going to hear that. Jesus, let me stretch my hands here. Like, they're just gonna hear that. They're not gonna know where I recorded it, why I recorded it, what I was feeling when I was recording it, other than maybe sad. You know, you look, I don't care anymore, but, you know, you can record sad songs in a happy tone, or you can record happy songs in a, like a lot of my thank yous to my listeners, like, I have one on, I'm Sorry, and I think I have one on, like, Misery Theory, and then I have a couple, like, I have a lot of, like, devotion to my like, the people that listen to my music, because it is important to me that people can listen to my music and, like, feel anything or be like, okay, this song isn't completely terrible, because to me, I don't know how to gauge that. Like, I can sit here and write, like, fucking, I can sit here and be like, yeah, man, that's the greatest acoustic, like, that's the greatest acoustic chord progression ever. You know, that's like one of the greatest things you could ever concoct, and people sit here, like, being like, fucking, dude. Like, people hear that, wish you were here. Like, I could have just played that little bit, showed, like, 4,000 people that, and people would have been like, oh my god, Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. Like, anybody in Western civilization, like, if you go to fucking, like, if you go to, like, Thailand and show people Pink Floyd, there's, like, a significantly less chance that people listen to, you know, because you know what I'm saying, right? Like, yeah. So if you showed any amount of people, are gonna be like, wow, it's Pink Floyd, and then of course there's a fuck. Fuck. It's been a minute. Excuse me. Let me do this right. I forgot to play the rest of the solo. I'm not a big soloist, if you couldn't tell. But yeah, like, people hear that, they're like, wow, that's iconic. There's nothing inherently iconic about it. But yeah, so I can't really gauge that. Obviously, I never get in my own head and I'm like, wow, I just wrote one of the greatest songs of all time. Wow, no one ever could have thought of. But on the contrary to that, I'm not gonna sit around and wait for someone to write that either. Like, I'm not gonna play a fucking another song. I'm not playing another one of my songs. But yeah, I'm not gonna sit around and wait for someone else to write that chord progression, because I just came up with it, or I just came up with it by my own accord. You know, I'm not ripping anybody off. So, like, to me, that fucking, like, coming up with that, or just coming up with something simple. Like, coming up with that, I'm like, oh shit. Well, let me write this down. I'm fucking Buster Scruggs out here with the 6-shooter. I'm on target right here. And to me, those songs sound good. But like I said, I never get these premonitions where I'm like, wow, I just wrote, like, one of the greatest songs of all time. Like, obviously, I'll be like, wow, I channeled my emotions really good in that. Like, when I wrote Relief, it's like, yeah, I wrote a fucking sad song about things like poverty and things like poverty and depression in the world, and how I'm, like, dissatisfied with what we as a species have become. But, like, yeah, obviously I channeled that, and I think I did a good job channeling that. But channeling does not, like, mean quality as shit. Like, I record on my cell phone and I use a free DAW, and, like, yeah, I'm super minimalistic, so all my songs objectively are terrible. But yeah, I don't care about any of those aforementioned things. Like, I care about what I wrote and why I wrote it, right? Like I write like these things describe as like when I say like pathetic excuse of a song, it's because like that wasn't me. I never was a catchy musician. Like, and I never was. Through my lens, I was never meant to be looked at as a guy that like wrote these super catchy songs. And like now that I'm older and I listen to, oh excuse me, like now that I'm older and I listen to various musicians, like a lot of Smashing Pumpkins songs aren't quote unquote catchy, like Galapagos, like I want to numb the pain, I want to numb the change. I've never got that stuck in my head, but what Galapagos is to me, like I'll be sitting here and I'm like, I want to hear that, you know, I want to hear the Jesus. I have got to practice more before I start doing things like this because I just spent like I just spent like a minute playing a fucking 30-second riff. Okay, whatever. But like I want to hear that. But yeah, I want to hear the whole song because it's beautiful, right? Like sometimes like when I hear a catchy song, I'm like when Billie Eilish released her new fucking album, Hit Me Hard and Soft. Like I got that like I could eat that girl for lunch. Like I got that stuck in my head everywhere I went. Like I'd be at work and I'd be like, God damn it, I gotta listen to that song now. And like that's a talent. That's talent I don't have. Like there's nothing catchy about you're tiring me out. I don't know what's or you're tiring me out. I don't remember the fucking rhythm of the chords and the fucking vocals. That's how long it's been since I've played Shake, but like yeah, those songs were such pathetic attempts at me trying to be this like musician that I was not, and I wholeheartedly should have like just stuck with my instinct and not been afraid of writing these like songs that weren't catchy, because when I sat down and I did this verse chorus verse format, I ended up writing these really like shitty songs that were like super forced rhymes and like super edgy and like writing about things that weren't like important at all. That being said, like Crestfallen and shit, looking back at it now, like would I write that song now? Fuck no. Like one, it's in drop D. I never play in drop D anymore. Like I play in drop D for Red Scare shit, for fucking shits and giggles, because drop D is a joke to me. Like, wow, power chords. We need to make power chords easier. And I just don't like the whole barring the three. Like, it's just not natural. Like, playing in power chords should just be... It's so easy to do, right? But, yeah, I'd never write a song in drop D, and... You know, I do like that opening riff, the fucking... I dig all that. And, like, that song is very near and dear to my heart, because my friends loved that song when I wrote it. Like, every time I would play it, they'd be like, yeah, just, like, play Crestfallen or something. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'll play fucking Crestfallen. I am many ways like you don't know. Time is calling, and I can't stop being crestfallen. It doesn't make sense, and I can't understand. So I'll be on my way. It doesn't make sense, so I'll be on my way. You act like you don't know. Time is calling, and I can't stop being crestfallen. I'm trying to get it, but it just won't stick. I'm trying to get it, but it just won't click. I'm a whole different person. I guess it's for the best. I'm a whole different person. I guess it's for the best. You act like you don't know. And time is calling. I can't stop being crestfallen. That did not go as intended. I'm not playing any more of that song. I probably should drag the end out there. There we go. But yeah, Crestfallen, obviously that song is near and dear to my heart because everyone loved it. Everyone liked it when I played it. Obviously now every time I play it, because I played it so much, like I half play it, like I don't really give a shit. And like, yeah, it's definitely one of the better earlier Evan Button songs, like obviously. But it's songs like Bees and Bonnet and Yakarosho or Nyeharasho, sorry, Russians, and Reticulum, and you know, like those earlier songs, like, and even Alexander's Lament, like I remember those. I can't remember how the intro to fucking A flat major 7 goes, but like it's those songs that like resonate with me because like they were the first signs of me being like me caring about what my music was instead of trying to force a songwriting narrative that like trying to prove that I could write songs when I should have been writing these songs like June 5th, like when I conjured the ideas. Like, stop trying to write Crestfallen 2 and, you know, work on things you care about. But I'm out of that rut now. I don't write that music anymore, and quite frankly, today is proof that like I am glad to move on from the music I am not writing anymore because it's not me. So oh my god. There we go. I can't remember the name of that song. I wrote that one too. Son of a bitch. Someone give me a catalog of all the songs I've written, and I'll talk about every song I've ever written if I can remember them. You play them for like 5 minutes, and I'll be like, oh yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I'm never gonna remember like Sparkle, or isn't Sparkle? Yeah, I think that's it. But yeah, so what was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm not gonna remember where like Crackle or Victory or Upsilon or like Wisp is it Wisp? It might be Whisper. Yeah, I know my own music, but yeah. So yeah, next time I'll play some better songs. I promise. I need to write the lyrics to some of them down though. Like I want to play. What do I want to play? Like I would love to play songs um like John Cane. I would love to play songs like John Cane or like I don't know, fucking March of the Beatles, which is what I was trying to do. That's it. That's a pain in the ass to play. But yeah, I would love to play more songs like those, you know, these newer age songs where, you know, things are going relatively better you know, and I'm growing as a musician. I'd love to play more of these songs. But as it stands, this is oh my god, this is such a fucking long episode. Uh, with a lot of fuck ups, but that's okay. I need to get a fuck tally, like every time I say like fuck in a video. I need to get a tally, because I am genuinely curious as to like what episode is gonna have the most f bombs. But as it stands, this is episode 9. I don't know what I'm gonna do for episode 10. Probably nothing involving music. Hopefully I never do this again. Right? If we live in a good universe, I will never play another song and I'll never pick up a guitar again. But we don't live in a good universe, so you're probably gonna hear me sing a couple more times, so I'm sorry. But that does it for this episode. Thank you so very much for attending this evening. I ripped that from Live in Denver, but I'm gonna pretend like I coined it myself.